Today I'm kicking off this video with a nice clean taper. Can be called a high taper, or as I call it, the South of France. And it's on my boy Vince, so shout out my boy Vince for letting me do this video. Appreciate you, dog. Taking this number 2 guard, and I'm gonna have it completely open to start off this haircut. So I'm going with the grain, basically the pattern of the hair, and I'm just trying to stay consistent, brush and comb in the direction that I'm gonna take the machine. And I'm kind of treating this like if it was some 360 waves, and I want to make sure that it's all one length. Same thing with the side, comb it down and just prep for the first guideline. And the first guideline is gonna be done with my Babyliss Gold Skeleton FX. Man, this is a trimmer of all trades. I love it. So I'm taking the comb and I'm putting it behind the ear just so I can have a reference point, and it can be even on both sides. Now I'm taking the no guard completely open and I'm doing my first guideline. You want to make sure when creating your guidelines that the hair is completely even from beginning of the hairline to behind the ear. Next, I'm getting that one guard and I'm gonna have it completely open and do the same thing. Just go up an inch and stay consistent. Also remember that when you're dealing with curly hair or coarse hair, make sure that you continuously comb and use the clipper at the same time, just so there's no over curling of the hair. Now I'm gonna close it all the way so it's a true number 1 and attack that middle line. Reason is that I don't want to make too many guidelines, and especially when you're first starting off, you can get confused. So go right to the number 1 and take off that middle line. Next, I'm gonna use my number 1.5 guard and open it all the way and do the same section. This section is probably the hardest section to do, only because you won't be able to see the line that it leaves behind, but that's a good thing. That means that you're fading the hair. Just stay consistent and try to blend it into the top of the hair. Notice how I'm using the corner of the clipper and scooping towards me. Next, I'm having the one guard completely open. This is gonna be the highest guard I use, and I'm going with the grain to kind of blend in any dark spots that I see. Then I drop down and I do the clipper completely open, and I go back in. This part of the fade is the most important. This is what I call the detailed work. Now I'm gonna close it halfway and attack that very bottom line, and I'm using all corners on this. Now I close it up all the way and I attack that bottom line. Make sure that you don't go any higher than that. Just stay at that line and knock it out until it's completely gone. So now I throw on my half guard and close it up halfway. And I'm attacking the spot that I did the number 1 closed at. The reason I use the half guard towards the end of the cut, I don't see it necessary for when you're doing the whole haircut. This is more of a detailed guard for me. Sometimes you don't even need it, and that's how I keep my blends a little on the darker side. So now I got my one guard and I'm closing it all the way, and I'm going at any dark spot. Make sure throughout this whole process you're only using your corners. What I mean by the corners is the corner of the blade. You don't want to put the whole blade completely flat on the head, because then that creates more lines. Now with my gold FXs, I put the whole blade behind the ear. This is going to bring out two things: the shape of the haircut and the imperfections in the fade that need to get redetailed. So I go in with my Babyliss shaver and I just clean up the bottom so the fade can be completely skinned. And I just go back in with my clipper and do the final touches to the fade. Now mirror the exact same steps as you did on the last side to this side. Now just build that foundation for a solid fade and use your comb as a reference point and stick around till we get to this lineup. We're about to bring my boy back. We have made it to the make it or break it part of the haircut. This is what's going to determine if somebody asks, where did you go, so they can pull up, or where did you go so I could stay away. All we got to do is make sure that we prep the hair and go straight in and attack the middle part of the hairline. Always build the foundation in the center and break your way either left or right. I decided to go left because he has a calic and I want to go and jump right in. So now I go in with an enhancement. Now this is frowned upon to many barbers, but when done right, you can achieve the look that you and your client both are satisfied with. Now you want to make sure after you apply the Barber Magic pencil that you use your trimmer and pull away from the hairline. Blend in the pencil into the skin. Now you can go in with your razor and do the final details to make the line extra crispy. And you want to do the same exact thing on the other side of the hairline. When doing the hairline, I like to use facial features to make sure my hairlines are symmetrical. So I take the vertical bars and align it with the outside of the eyebrow or the corner of the eye. That's how you achieve a unique hairline for every client. I've double checked both sides to make sure the fade is even. I've used my mirror as my second reference because my eyes lie but the mirror don't. And all there is left to do is take a step back, look at the fade, and see what he used to look like right before the haircut. And bless him. Man, I just want to give a huge thank you, man, to everybody that contributed from the instrumental to my introduction, just for formulating such a great masterpiece like this. I want you guys to take this, put your foot on the gas, and just stay consistent. And may God bless.